Hey, Anthony.
Yeah,
Did you hear that the Trump admin fired the director of the Centers for Disease Control?
yeah.
What do you think about that?
It's a perfect example of the complete collapse of science-based policy under the Trump administration, and of course, a major threat to potentially millions of American lives over the next few years.
How so?
Well, Susan Monterez, the director that was fired, was kicked out because she refused to listen to RFK Jr.'s anti-vaccine drivel and argued with him about the recent restrictions that he's placed on who has access to the COVID vaccine. So, on one hand, we have an experienced scientist with a doctorate degree in veterinary science with a focus on preventing, diagnosing, and treating infectious diseases. She's got over 2 decades of work across numerous U.S. health and national security agencies working on things like disease control, antibiotic resistance, maternal health, and a bunch of other stuff. And, are there problems with her nomination to the director position in the first place? Sure. I would love somebody who had an actual medical degree instead of just veterinary sciences, but she is still a science and data driven professional. On the other hand, we have RFK Jr. Got the brain worms, he's an anti vaccine activist, he claims he can diagnose children with illnesses just by looking at them, and famously got his current position not through any type of merit, but through literally bribing the Trump administration with votes during the last election. And this is the same RFK Jr., of course, who recently canceled over $500 million in funding for research on mRNA vaccines, the same type of vaccines that saved millions of lives worldwide during the COVID pandemic, and who also recently removed access to those vaccines from the majority of the American populace with those recent restrictions. And, of course, has participated in the firing of large portions of critical scientific staff at U.S. healthcare agencies like the CDC. So, of course, the Trump administration sides with the sycophant. Loyalty, or as the White House puts it, being aligned with the president's agenda, is more important to them than scientific fact or the lives of literally millions of Americans.
Is it really that bad?
Yeah, maybe not in the short term, which is often intentional with Republicans. They want the effects to be felt during other administrations. But, along with the firing of Monterez, there's dozens of other senior staff that have resigned in protest at the CDC, and reportedly many more are considering leaving. So we're talking about a huge loss of institutional knowledge that could very well cripple the agency for years to come, completely separate from the intentional crippling happening by RFK and the Trump administration. And let's not forget that the point of the CDC is literally to control disease. Influenza, COVID, measles, bird flu, the list goes on and on. And with the crippling of the organization and the anti-vaccine leadership under the Trump administration and the loss of research funding, millions of Americans' lives are potentially at risk over the coming decade. And all it will take to set that off is one good epidemic.